Hey, it's John Webster with the US Biochar Initiative today, and we're up here in Preston, Idaho with the USU Forestry Extension. And I'm going to introduce you to the innovator of bigboxbiochar. Darren, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Thanks, John. I'm Darren McAvoy. I'm an Extension Associate Professor at Utah State University of Forestry. I also chair the Utah Biomass Resource Group and the Utah Prescribed Fire Council. And I'm really excited that folks are out here. We're on the Northwestern Band of the Shoshone Nation property. It's known as the River Massacre Site, where 400 or so souls lost their lives on a January morning in the 1800s. And the Northwest Band of the Shoshone tribe has purchased 600 acres of property here along the Bear River, and we're trying to restore it with lots of different partners. And one of the first steps is to remove the invasive trees that have grown here called Russian olive trees, and those all been cut and piled, and the Utah Conservation Corps did that earlier this summer, and now it's up to us to dispose of those piles. And many of the piles we're trying to turn into biochar with big box kilns and Oregon kilns and ring of fire kilns today.
And it looks like we have an open burn as well, and a good number of volunteers. Where did these volunteers come from?
The volunteers are all Utah State University students from the Fire Club and the Restoration Club, and just different grad students who are interested in restoration and fire, and just a chance to get their hands dirty and use a drip torch. That's our ignition device, and come out and play in the snow and the mud and burn some stuff.
And smell like a campfire and have burritos that we cooked on the kilns. So what's the intent with the biochar that's left from this?
We're a little concerned about the biochar. The pH is quite high. It's 9.4, and we'll need to ameliorate that a little bit. We think that if we mix it with compost in a 1-to-1 ratio and let it sit for a few weeks, we'll probably use local manure from the local dairy farms, and we'll mix them together and let the biochar, we call this charging the char, when it's given an opportunity to absorb all the nutrients from compost or manure, and we let it sit for a few weeks, and then all the nooks and crannies that are biochar, a handful of biochar has the surface area approaching a football field, and so that all that surface is filled with the nutrients that will become available to plants and increase water holding capacity in the neighborhood of 20,000 gallons per acre, depending on the soil type, and hopefully grow better native trees and forbs and grasses here. The part of the project is folks are interviewing the grandmothers of the tribe and finding out what used to grow on this site, what they used to weave their baskets with, and what materials they used to have available to them here, and that will be one of the driving factors for what is replanted here.
That's amazing. So, Darren, thank you so much for having us today. This is John with the US Biochar Initiative. If you have any questions, please visit biochar-us.org. You can also email us info@biochar-us.org and sign up for our newsletter. Thank you.